Hi, this is attorney Jamie Miller, and I'd like to welcome you to another Miller Minute. Today, we are going to talk about a really hot button issue. So many of my clients get so frustrated, and I know bankruptcy clients from across the country are so frustrated about the continuing increase in documents that we need and that everybody needs to properly get a bankruptcy filed. And one of the things that I really want to talk about is why getting accurate information from our clients is so important. And it's really important for a multitude of reasons. And I want to talk about the why, because sometimes when we talk to our clients and we say, we need tax returns, or we need recorded mortgages, or we need recorded deeds, we are not really telling them the why we need that information. And fundamentally, as we move forward, the reason that we need that information is to make sure that they have an accurate and correct petition. That's 100% correct. But the big thing that we need to do is to ensure our clients' eligibility to file a Chapter 7. So depending on the type of bankruptcy that we're filing, there's certain eligibility requirements. For example, in a Chapter 7, there's something that's called the means test. So here in Wisconsin, we will need all of your pay stubs for the 6 months prior to filing the bankruptcy. And we're also going to need your tax returns for the 2 immediate years prior to filing your case. Now, we need those tax returns, we need those pay stubs, because we need to make sure that you're eligible for a Chapter 7. So for instance, to be eligible for a Chapter 7, if you're single, your income has to be less than $63,000 a year. And that's why we need the pay stubs. We need the tax returns, for instance, because we want to see what your pattern of income has been over the last several years. But importantly, inaccurate or incomplete financial information is something that could lead to denial of your eligibility. So for instance, if we don't have your pay stub or we're missing a pay stub and your income is above the income level that allows you to qualify to file bankruptcy, we may have gone through that whole exercise of filing your case, then only to find out a few days later or a month later that you don't qualify because your income is too high. So that's ensuring eligibility. And then we want to make sure that we're ensuring the appropriate type of bankruptcy that you're filing. There's different types of bankruptcy and there's different eligibility requirements. That accurate information that you give us and that you give to our lawyers is going to help me to most appropriately advise you, does a Chapter 7 make sense? Is your income low enough to qualify for a 7? Are you behind on a mortgage payment? Are you behind a car payment? Are you behind on taxes? All of those things in the documentation that you provide me is going to help me to advise you whether you need to do a 7 and wipe out your debts, or perhaps do a Chapter 13 and help you get caught up on a car payment, or help you get caught up on a mortgage payment, or pay off those back taxes. So the documents you provide us give us the support we need to best advise you of your options. The next one is to ensure that your distribution of your assets is appropriate, or better said, that your assets aren't distributed to your creditors. So when we file for bankruptcy, you're allowed to keep your assets up to a certain dollar amount. When you provide us with your card title, or the amount you owe on your mortgage, or the property tax bill that shows how much your home is worth, we're asking you all of these things because we want to make sure that when we file your case, that all of your assets are going to be protected. And if they're not protected, what steps we can take to help you protect those assets. So when we file bankruptcy and we're asking for a list of your household goods, for bank statements, for 401k retirement statements, I just know how frustrating it can be to get us those documents, but I can't tell you enough how important it is to get those documents so that we can protect your assets and at the same time make sure that we discharge your debts. And then the next thing is to avoid legal consequences. When you file your bankruptcy, just like when you file your taxes, when you file your taxes, it's the code of honesty. I mean, the government is trusting you. They're trusting you that your information is accurate and correct on the taxes that you file. If you're not being honest, you're not going to get questioned on it up to the point where you get audited. You get audited on your taxes and they find that you weren't honest on your taxes, then you could have some trouble. And the same goes for bankruptcy. When we file for bankruptcy, you're signing the bankruptcy schedules and petition under penalties of perjury. So that means you're telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that our obligation is to make sure that all the information that we put in your bankruptcy petition is true and correct, of course, but it's consistent with the documents that you're filing. So the income in your bankruptcy, is it consistent with your pay stubs? Is it consistent with your tax returns, your list of household goods, or your car? Are we valuing all of those things properly? And I completely understand what a burden it is to get these documents, but I can't tell you enough how important it is. And the number of clients that I had a client who didn't disclose that they had a hot tub. Hot tub was probably worth $7,000, right? So we asked them for a list of their assets. They gave us a list of their assets. We reviewed their assets over the phone and multiple times, never disclosed the hot tub. Hot tub was probably worth $7,000. Somehow the court found out that they had this hot tub, that they didn't disclose it, and their bankruptcy ended up getting denied. Now, had they told me about the hot tub, we would have been able to protect it 100%. So sometimes our clients don't know the importance, and I'm doing this video today to really help people understand how important it is to cooperate. But bottom line is we're going to ask you for a lot of documents. We're going to do right by you. And if you have any questions, you give us a call at 414-336-7569 or visit us at our website, millerlaw.com. If you have questions, you can go on the chat or you can go on the contact page, fill it out, and we'll get back to you. And again, invite you to visit millerlaw.com and look forward to assisting you with any questions that you may have in the future.